These people, though they sound crazy at first, they're onto something huge. The Earth is not a spinning ball.
Everything you think you know about the universe is a lie.
Flat, 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 the Earth flat. Flat, 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 the Earth flat. You telling me gravity pulled that down? No, it just hit. It's failed.
Have a pin. If I release it from my grip, what happens? Anybody? Correct. It falls. Was that gravity?
No.
Molecules that make up this pin more dense than the molecules of the air surrounding it. So it falls when you let go. There's no gravity.
No.
There's no gravity. There's no gravity.
No.
There's no gravity.
All physics says gravity do not exist. Gravity do not exist.
Don't say gravity anymore. You can't ever measure it, you can't ever test it, and there's no equation for it. Show me the equation that proves gravity. Show me the equation. Show me an object here on Earth that attracts other things to it and makes it stick to it or orbit it.
Gravity is a religion. That's all it is. It's a belief system. You have no evidence to back up that gravity exists.
Flat, flat, flat.
What's up, heathens? How ya doing? Tonight we are going over a Saints Unscripted video. They are the channel that used to be Three Mormons. And basically I think that the channel is run by some kind of like college Mormon group. And so they started out with an ill name Three Mormons, and then the cast started changing and everything like that. And eventually they just decided, after their prophet received revelation from God about how they shouldn't be calling themselves Mormons anymore, they changed their names to Saints Unscripted, because apparently all Mormons are saints. That's their official word on why they changed their name from Three Mormons to Saints Unscripted. So, they have multiple little segments that run on their channel. This one is one of their beliefs kind of sections. They basically talk about what they actually believe in and everything like that. What they believe in is that Joseph Smith, the guy who created the church, is a prophet of God. And so right now we're going to look at a little sneak peek at what we're going to be talking about here tonight. Which this it's really kind of crazy. Let me get it right to the spot. Okay.
Joseph Smith prophesied specifically about the Civil War and probably World War I. It's recorded in Doctrine and Covenants 87. He said the northern and southern states would be divided against each other and that war would break out in South Carolina, which it did at Fort Sumter in 1861.
So yes, we are going to be talking about the various prophecies of Joseph Smith and how the Mormons rationalize that he is an actual prophet of God. Probably next week, depending on the Skeptic Mafia, we may be covering the origins of Joseph Smith and how that kind of works out. I wanted to be a little bit more knowledgeable in his backstory before I really tackled that, because I'm going to do a whole presentation on it. So this week we're covering his prophecies. So if you're interested in the Mormons defending their prophet Joseph Smith, then please stay tuned. Oh shit. I'm trying something new. Anyways, hold on. Today I learned. All right. I'm still getting used to the new way that I'm leading into this to make it a bit more palpable for the replay. But yeah, so we're doing Today I Learned first, and today I learned that in 2007, Navy SEAL Mike Day was shot 27 times by 4 Al-Qaeda gunmen and hit by grenade shrapnel, but he killed all 4 of the gunmen and walked out to the extraction helicopter. He recovered and is living with his wife and daughters. Now, if I had to give a medal for fucking badass, it would be fucking Mike Day. That's pretty goddamn badass if you ask me. I mean, to get shot 27 times, take some grenade shrapnel, and then walk to the extraction, I could see him limping up there being like, yeah, I had a run-in with some assholes. Don't worry, I took care of them. Let's see, we got a couple super chats. We got Uhan Roderick, $15 because 15 inches. Keep doing you, even though I'm just one person. I'm not going anywhere. I really appreciate the support there, Uhan. I really appreciate that. And then we got Lucy Fur, who's sending love and support. Thank you so much, Lucy. I really appreciate that. You know,
Lucy is like the best moderator on Dear Mr. Atheist channel. I'm just saying.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. I didn't know that Lucy was a moderator on there. Well, thank you, Lucy, for joining us tonight. So, all right, that's the first Today I Learned. I hope you guys are ready to learn shit, because here on this channel, it's intellectual shit only, okay? None of this fucking comedy shit from Luciferians or sketch comedy or whatever the fuck. Now, you guys ready for some information that'll blow your minds and make you scared to walk to Walmart? Today I learned that there have been 32 broken arrow or missing nuclear weapons alerts by the United States alone, with 6 nuclear weapons still unaccounted for. See what I mean? They could be anywhere. You might just want to walk around with a Geiger counter just all the time, just in case. You don't know. Like I said, intellectual shit on GE. And then finally on Today I Learned, we have chess grandmaster Ossip Bernstein, however you pronounce that, I'm sorry, was arrested by the Bolshevik secret police and ordered to be shot. Probably because he was a dick at chess. I don't know. He probably didn't deserve to be shot, because that's how these kind of places work. As the firing squad lined up, an officer asked if he was really the famous chess master. The officer made Bernstein play a game for his life against him. Bernstein won easily and was released. Whew, that is the one time, like, you know how today on in the comment section on Today I Learned earlier in the video, we learned about a chess master who actually played non-correct like openings so that others would be thrown off and they would have to think their way around it. I'm fairly certain in that situation, you don't want to let the guy have any kind of edge on you at all. But given that this guy's a chess grandmaster, I think that he could have handled everything. I want to know how many moves he beat him in, because I would have made it to where that game lasted seconds. Anyways, that's it for Today I Learned. But you know what we do after Today I Learned?
Should you guys science?
No!
Oh.
Out of Context Comics. Today's Out of Context comic nightmare comes from KC. Thank you so much for this little bit of nightmare fuel there, KC.
I know, it's fucking scary.
You've got this is Green Eggs and Ham, but told from Tim Burton's point of view. You got Please, They're All I Have Left, and it's a green pig and a green chicken. And that's the fuck that was in Green Eggs and Ham. And then you've got the other guy saying, I thirst for your green fowl and swine, Samuel. I mean, goddamn, this right here will keep you up at night. I mean, holy shit. They need to make this into some kind of like actual movie where it's like Dr. Seuss, the nightmare. Jesus Christ, get this the fuck off my screen. All right, now it's time for shitty ass science. We're gonna answer some science shit really wrong. Or if you're a GE hater, it's just every day. Because I don't answer science shit perfectly all the time. Anyways, shitty ass science. All right. Do all cats come? Oh fuck! This is the wrong goddamn shitty ass science. What the fuck am I doing?
Christina Webster said, "Well, I'm not sleeping for 2 weeks. I'm so sorry." I haven't slept since about Tuesdays.
Oh man. Okay. Shitty ass science. How can I get my head to emit a protective orb? Alright, so listen, this I believe is Putin or someone, let's see, shiny head Seaman presses metal to launch a protective orb. Oh wow, yeah. So listen, Putin, I believe maybe that is, I don't know, whoever that is walking into the room, he's a dangerous person. So that guy right there activated his chrome dome. And that'll protect him from the nasty thoughts that are walking in. This is the kind of like an aura protection. Basically, if you watch Phoebe on Friends a lot, you can figure out how to cleanse your aura and stuff. Remember, she was sitting there and she was like picking the fucking little auras off people. Well, this guy activated his little aura defender there because that guy right there is a shitty fucking person, and he didn't want to get like all fucked up with that shit. So of course, aura time. Now, the aura is contained right in the middle of the chrome dome. It's actually a little button that if you gotta look really close to it. But basically, right before that guy walked in, this guy went up there and was like, boop, like that, and that's how it works. Or aura. Shitty ass science.
I mean, you did the cat shield last week.
I did do the cat shield last week.
Or Monday?
Monday, yeah, it would have been Monday. This week it's been cats, because I had the cat organelle today where the cat glows.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I think maybe that one was a Chernobyl cat. That was a Chernobyl cat. That's what that was.
Okay.
Anyways, now on to the video. So this is one of the new hosts of the Three Mormons channel. The Saints Unscripted channel. So this is one of the new hosts. He's going to defend Joseph Smith for us as a prophet. And he's going to bring up, basically what he does is he brings up 3 prophecies. And then what he's going to do is he's going to shit talk people that challenge the prophecies or all of Joseph Smith's prophecies, which there's actually a shit ton of prophecies that he had, and a lot of them don't come true. But it's kind of like when he could predict, like when he had a good sensation of what was going to happen, he made a prophecy. So let's see. Basically, we're going to listen to each of the prophecies. I'm going to explain how it's bullshit, and then at the very end, it's pretty much just a laugh fest of how they rationalize stuff. So let's have some fun tonight. Hello, Saints Unscripted bearded hipster guy. Tell me about Joseph Smith.
Members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints believe Joseph Smith was a prophet of God, just like Moses, Abraham, or Peter. As prophets sometimes tend to do, every now and again Joseph prophesied. Many of his prophecies are quite astounding and some are more confusing. We're going to take a look at some of them after the intro video.
Fuck the intro. So yeah, like I said, he's got a lot of prophecies, and I've actually got a list. List of prophecies. So I'm just gonna read off. Like at one point in time, he actually prophesied that New York would be destroyed. That didn't happen. Let's see. There was gonna be a land purchase. Apparently, the Mormons were gonna purchase some land. There's gonna be Zion in Missouri. There was gonna be a stronghold in Kirtland for the space of 5 years. See, apparently they claimed that this one was fulfilled because a majority of Latter-day Saints fled to Kirtland to far west Missouri between 1837 and 1838 to escape mob violence. Wow. So it would have been a prophecy if he would have said, oh, there's going to be mob violence and you're going to flee the land and go to Kirtland. Like, even then, that wouldn't be, like, an actual prophecy, because you could be like, hey, guys, this shit gets shady. Just go to Kirtland. Cool. They'll hide you in the storm drain. A lot like that It clown. Zion in this generation, this one is actually mentioned in this video, and he's got a weird way of actually getting around that. So, but I believe there's a Wikipedia article that I've got listed in the description. Maybe no. Shit, I don't know if I can update it now, but I'll get it updated, possibly later. But anyways, so there's just a shit ton of these prophecies that Joseph Smith made and are not actually fulfilled. I don't know if it'll update, but it may try, but we'll see. Anyways.
Did you know that Joseph Smith prophesied specifically about the Civil War and probably World War I? It's recorded in Doctrine and Covenants 87. He said the northern and southern states would be divided against each other and that war would break out in South Carolina, which it did at Fort Sumter in 1861, some 20 years after Joseph Smith's death.
Technically 29 years after, well, I guess 29 years after he made the prophecy, and maybe 20 years after his death. I don't know. But you know what, heathens? See, I went and I did a little bit of extra legwork for you guys, because I've actually got the whole, like, Doctrine 87, right? It's not that long. Let's shit. Can I can't just drag and drop that shit in here. Okay. I don't know. Oh crap, no, I didn't. So I will read that here in just 1 second. Okay, let me get Lucy's super chat read. Sorry. Lucy Fur, because I adore Casey. She's amazing. Yes, Casey is amazing. Thank you so much, honey. You are fantabulous at it. That's not. No, I'm not even
fantastic at everything.
No, I wasn't trying to be patronizing or anything. I'm serious. You're very awesome. So okay, here is Doctrine 87. This is the supposed prophecy of Joseph Smith about the Civil War. Let's read it real quick, shall we? And you know, I can't read things without doing the voice. Just imagine this is a dumbass in the 1800s. Verily, thus saith the Lord concerning the wars that will shortly come to pass, beginning at the rebellion of South Carolina, which will eventually terminate in the death and misery of many souls. See, this is the thing that's currently on the screen. If you remember, it actually has the very first one. This is the one. South Carolina is where Fort Sumter was that officially started the Civil War. But it goes on to say these things. And the time will come that war will be poured out upon all nations, beginning at this place. So at this point, now the prophecy is that this will start a war that will spread to all nations across everywhere. Now, I don't know if you guys know your history, but the Civil War, while it may have lasted a little while, it did not spread to other nations. It did not spread anywhere. But see, this is why he says that it prophesies the First World War. And I'm guessing that if you can rationalize it for it prophesizing the First World War, you could also say that it prophesied like all the other wars. World War II, Vietnam, Korea, probably the Second Korean War that Trump is probably going to get us in. For behold, the southern states shall be divided against the northern states, and the southern states will call on other nations, even the nation of Great Britain, as it is called, and they shall also call upon other nations, in order to defend themselves against other nations, and then war shall be poured out upon all nations. So, during the Civil War, the South did try to get in touch with Britain to get some supplies and some troops and all that. They wanted Britain to help, but Britain actually didn't end up helping. So I don't know why they think that this is an actual fulfilled prophecy, because Joseph Smith went through a painstaking, detailed prophecy here, and the only thing that he got right is the Civil War happened. And then it goes on to say, and it shall come to pass after many days, slaves shall rise up against their masters, who shall be marshaled and disciplined for war. So it wasn't actually the slaves that rose up against their masters or anything like that. It was actually Abraham Lincoln that lobbied for the Emancipation Proclamation and lobbied for the 13th. I think it was the 13th Amendment to free the slaves. And so it wasn't the slaves that rose up. It was actually the white man that gave them freedom. Which I mean, whatever problems you might have with that. But anyways, the point is that the slaves didn't free themselves. But somebody else freed the slaves. That's the important part of this. Next up. And it shall come to pass also that the remnants who are left of the land will marshal themselves, and shall become exceedingly angry, and shall vex the Gentiles with a sore vexation. Okay, everything kind of, it didn't go back to normal immediately, but I mean, it like the South rejoined the Union, everything was fine. So I don't know what this particular part is talking about here, but anyways, just another failed part of the prophecy. And then it gets to this last part, which is really funny, and it goes, and thus with the sword and by bloodshed the inhabitants of the earth shall mourn, and with famine and plague and earthquake and the thunder of heaven and the fierce and vivid lightning also shall the inhabitants of the earth be made to feel the wrath and indignation and chastening hand of an almighty God, until the consumption decreed hath made a full end of all nations.
Can I just say we have the most awesome we have the most awesome followers, we really do. You guys are great.
I wasn't watching the chat, obviously, but thank you guys for whatever you guys have done. So, yes, this right here was the actual prophecy by Joseph Smith. And this guy is saying that it was fulfilled. And it's just simply not fulfilled. They want to... This is a classic case of cherry picking. But also, it's not the case that it was a prophecy, because a newspaper, like 4 or 5 days prior to Joseph Smith having his revelation from God, actually wrote a piece that talked about the possibilities of the United States separating, or states seceding, and how South Carolina and Georgia were the hotbeds for this particular thing. So this isn't actually a prophecy, like, whatsoever. So the fact that he stole it from a goddamn newspaper fits with his character perfectly, because if you don't know how Mormonism actually started, Joseph Smith was arrested, tried, convicted. He even confessed to defrauding people using seer stones. And then what does he do as soon as he gets out of trouble? He fucking takes a stroll in the woods and finds the Book of Mormon, and he creates himself a religion to defraud people. I mean, holy fuck. It makes total sense that he would do this.
Do you think he was walking in the woods with shovels so he had someplace to shit?
Probably. It was probably digging in the ground, taking a shit, and he was like, hold on, wait a second. I should totally find something in here. Other than my shit. All right. Oh my god! So basically, they find this mind-blowing that somebody about 29 years prior to the Civil War breaking out could see that it was coming. In fact, prior to the Civil War, everybody saw that it was like, you would have to be blind, living under a fucking rock, not to see any issues that were cropping up and how this was going to be going, because they had been talking about seceding from the Union for a while. We got Uhan Roderick with just a heart. I think that's for KC. And Scott Seufert, just because hugs KC.
I'm sorry, it's been such a long week and so hard, and everybody's so awesome. I told you not to mic me.
You want me to take it away?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
On a separate occasion, Joseph Smith prophesied in one meeting, 40 days shall not pass, and the stars shall fall from heaven. A skeptic in the congregation jotted down the prophecy, looking forward to proving Joseph a false prophet. 39 nights later, the skeptic watched as the 1833 Leonid meteor shower happened before his eyes. Some sources report 100 to 200,000 meteors falling per hour.
Okay, so this is the next one. He predicted that a meteor shower was going to happen, which we got another one from the Random Explorer, because GE and KC rock. Keep up the awesomeness. Thank you, Random. Appreciate that. So this was not actually written down by Joseph Smith. Like he said, somebody in the audience of a sermon wrote it down for him because he was going to call him out on it. And then when it happened, right before the time limit was supposed to expire, apparently that means prophecy fulfilled. Now, in case you guys don't know, you can see shit coming from a long ways away. Also, this is not the first time this particular meteor shower had happened. So it's very plausible that he knew that it was going to happen and then just said it was. Just like if you knew that a solar eclipse was going to happen and then you're like, I prophesy the sun will disappear from the sky for about 30 minutes. And that is proof of God, and I am your prophet. Suck the God juice out of my dick. I mean, that's just as good as Joseph Smith's thing here. So it's not really a prophecy. These celestial events can be predicted. But also, it's speculated that they just wrote this shit down after it happened. So it was like a post hoc assertion. That's also very probable. You know what's the least probable explanation of all this shit? Fucking prophecy.
Joseph Smith was killed by a mob in Carthage, Illinois. He also prophesied that his friend, Willard Richards, would be safe while bullets would fly around him like hail, and he should see his friends fall on the right and on the left, but there should not be a hole in his garment. Willard was imprisoned with Joseph in Carthage, along with Hiram Smith and John Taylor. Joseph and Hiram were killed. John was shot in 4 places, but Willard miraculously left with the same amount of holes he came with. But not...
So basically, how weird would this have been? Just imagine you're hanging out with your homies, and then just all of a sudden one of your homies is like, hey man, listen, you are going to be surrounded by dudes, and there's going to be a firefight, but you're not going to get touched. Everybody else is going to die. You won't be touched, though. It's amazing that God... See, here's what's funny to me about this prophecy. It's amazing that God was able to let Joseph Smith know that his friend wouldn't die. You're going to be fine. But guess what, Joseph? That's the day I'm calling your ass home. With like 4 bullets to the face. Like, that part must have gotten lost in the little can with the string on it that he had to Joseph Smith. It's like, hey Joseph, your buddy, he's gonna get into a firefight and he's not gonna get shot, and then also you're gonna die. and so I mean, it's kind of weird that he could prophesy that his friend would be fine, but he couldn't prophesy that he would also die in that. It's just a little weird.
You know what I can't wait for?
What?
I can't wait till we finish. I mean, I know it's going to be a long time before we finish the Bible and the Daily Bible podcast, but I can't wait to start on the Book of Mormon.
Oh yeah, the Book of Mormon's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
All of Joseph's prophecies have been that spectacular or clear. Modern critics cite several examples of prophecies they claim went unfulfilled. For example, Doctrine and Covenants 84 prophesies that a temple will be built in Missouri in this generation. Joseph's generation passed. No temple. What gives? We'll use this scenario to showcase a few principles that are important to understand when it comes to prophecy, though not all of them will perfectly apply to this example. First, the wording of the Missouri temple prophecy echoes one given by Christ in Matthew 24. Christ lists a bunch of signs that will appear before and at the second coming. The sun will go dark, Christ will descend from the sky, angels will appear, the whole shebang. Then Christ says, "Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled." This gave many the impression that the second coming would happen in their lifetime. It didn't. Was Christ a false prophet? Of course not. It just suggests that maybe the word generation shouldn't necessarily be interpreted as a certain number of years, sort of how a day to God could be 1,000 years to us.
Okay, yeah, and then he's got this little clip from The Princess Bride. I don't think that word means what you think it means, which I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure why he thinks or what he thinks a generation is. Like when you say a generation of people or within this generation, what else would you be fucking talking about? Plus, you have to understand, in the book, in like the Gospels or whatnot, Jesus is talking to other fucking humans who have a lexicon of predefined words that he's using to communicate with them. And this generations has a very specific meaning in that particular language or whatnot. It was Greek at the time. So he was speaking very precisely about his little prophecy here. And we know that he was speaking precisely and how the first century Christians actually read and interpreted this, because you end up having these books that are completely fucking made up of things that didn't ever happen in reality because they made them up, but it's because Jesus did not come back within a generation. So you have to understand why I'm calling bullshit on your explanation here of how generation means something totally different to God. If I start talking to somebody and I use a word that I'm using totally different than how everybody else uses a word, maybe I should define what I'm talking about. Otherwise, it's just going to be an equivocation fallacy in that I'm speaking about something and you don't understand because I'm talking about something completely different.
Maybe we just shouldn't argue about the meaning of specific words with people.
Well, no, I think that you should use the lexicon of what these people meant. And in the Greek version, there's a lot of scholarly work that's gone into interpreting this shit. So I would think that we would at least have some kind of clear picture as to what he meant. What he meant was within a generation of humans. Humans, a generation like is around about, at least in the first century, was around about 36 to 40 years. So within 36 to 40 years of that generation, he should have come back. He didn't, so people made shit up about him. All right, prophecies and commandments.
Second, it's hard sometimes to differentiate between a prophecy.
Oh, sorry, before we get into this, we got Uhan Roderick with another super chat. D-Generation X, duh. Sorry, that didn't require that, but the X part made me think of like doing the 90s.
Do you know what D-Generation X is?
I do, it's a wrestling thing.
Yeah. And Cutthroat Juggalo said, and if you ain't down with that, I got 2 words for ya. You know what the words are?
Fuck you.
No, oh my god, honey. What? I even have the WWE Network. We don't watch enough wrestling. Suck it.
Oh, suck it. Okay. Uhan Roderick, 2 words for you. Suck it! See, I got it right. At least in the edit, it'll be correct. And this whole part will be cut out.
Oh, okay, you're going to actually take the part where I explain it to you and make you seem like the smart one.
Oh, yeah, because I totally do that to every stream. Every stream, I do end up cutting out, like, today I learned and everything like that, but I don't go through it and, like, move it.
I'm just messing with you.
Oh, look, Jesus is Lord is going back to Massa live on Facebook. Hey,
Oh, they had to go to Facebook because they got, cut off of
Shit, tell Sean.
YouTube. Okay. Yeah, we'll fuck you guys up there too. Have fun.
And a commandment. For example, if your kid's being a punk and you say, you will clean your room.
Clean up your room. It's a complete mess.
I am Groot.
Is that a prophecy or a commandment? Sometimes the line isn't so clear, especially when it's written down and you're looking back on it from 50 years later. And based on Doctrine and Covenants 124, I personally think this temple prophecy was more of a commandment. Third, sometimes it's easy.
So I can understand where they're coming through from with this, explaining it away as a commandment rather than prophecy. But I mean, also he didn't really have a lot of power if he commanded people to build a temple, and the people were like, well, shit, we need land permits. We've got to get building materials, funding, and everything. God damn it, we need to build an ultra empire of things and then build a temple, which they eventually did, just not in that generation. Now there's prophecy versus opinion.
Easy to mistake a prophet's personal opinion for a prophecy. I don't think that's what's happening in this temple prophecy, but in some others it is. Fourth, many prophecies, including many of Joseph Smith's that people claim to be failed, are conditional. If this happens, then this will happen. If the early saints didn't meet the conditions of some prophecies, then they may not have been fulfilled. And sometimes the fact that a prophecy is conditional isn't always clear.
Honey?
Huh?
I'm gonna make a prophecy right now, guys. This is the revelation of GE's whale dick. If I run a red light, I will get caught by the cops and pulled over. That is a prophecy. It will happen only if I run a red light, though. I mean, can you imagine having a prophecy and it's just like, oh, hey, here's a prophecy for you. If you do this, this will get fucked up. Or you do this, this will happen. It sounds like you're predicting the consequences of actions. This is not prophecy. Like, I don't care if your prophecy is conditional. If your prophecy is, well, okay, I do care if your prophecy is conditional, because that means that it's not a prophecy. It is just like predicting what the consequences might be. It's not a fucking prophecy. I mean, I do this every day, like at work, when I'm driving, like, oh shit, you know what? If I run this guy off the road because he's being an asshole and driving up my ass, I might get in trouble. I will get in trouble. That's a legal thing. So, I mean, is that a prophecy at that point? No, because apparently I'm not this prophet. It's only the Mormon prophet who can make bullshit claims and claim that they're prophecies. Arduin, crazy Durr, hugs and high fives. Thanks, Arduin.
I don't know if you heard that, but I just high-fived the
Dutch.
mic.
Oh, he said crazy Dutch hugs and high fives. Thank you, Arduin. All right, let's move on.
Something like this actually happened with the prophet Jonah at Nineveh. After the fish pukes him up, he goes to Nineveh, and he cried and said, "Yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown." He states it as a matter of fact. In 40 days, Nineveh will be gone. There were no conditions explicitly set. But as it turns out, the prophecy was apparently conditional because the people repented and the city was saved. They lucked out.
They didn't luck out. And also, I love how you're reading conditions into a non-conditional statement there. Like, seriously, why do you do this? Why are you inserting things where they don't need to be inserted? If he says, Nineveh's gonna take a shit, if he says that, and Nineveh doesn't take a shit because, for whatever reason, either they repented, or maybe you're just a drunk sailor guy, I don't know, but for whatever reason, that means the prophecy didn't come true. It's not that it was conditional. Let's see, we've got Drew's book reviews. Joseph Smith, the only prophet to ever be convicted of fraud. Also, KC, you rock, keep up the good work, and UGE work so hard for your convictions. Thank you so much, Drew. I appreciate that. And then we got Jasper Jeep. It says, if I drink a bottle of scotch, I'll get drunk. If I smoke weed, I'll get high. God damn it, the prophecy of Jasper Jeep. It will be fulfilled, motherfuckers.
It reminds me of that Hank Williams Jr. song. You know what it is? Why do you drink to get drunk? Why do you go smoke to get high? You know that one?
Yeah.
Fifth, God can do what he wants.
What in the fuck is this image? I like how God is just sort of...
I just now saw it.
I like how God is just sort of sitting there like a, what of it, motherfucker? A dove sucking my dick while the narwhal and the platypus over here is checking it out.
The platypus is just like, sup.
He's like, that Holy Ghost can suck a mean dick. God damn it. Do you know I have poisonous fangs? I don't know why God gave me poisonous fangs, but holy shit. And then the narwhals over there like, are you kidding? I'm a sea unicorn, motherfucker. I have to say, this image right here, this is the best image of this whole thing.
Or are you still laughing at the same one? You can't.
Yes, because it's hilarious. Look at God's face.
It broke GE.
Well, I mean, just look at it. It did break me.
He looks miserable.
He does not look miserable.
He's got
to
the
me.
Star of David behind him.
Look at this. That is a I don't give a fuck image right
and
there.
Oh, you forgot the dove. Did you see the dove?
Did you not hear me talking about how the dove's sucking his dick? The dove is the Holy Ghost.
No, I didn't hear that. I'm so sorry because I was talking in the chat, and so sometimes I like.
Because he's sitting there and he's like got his arms out and everything, and he's like, so what? The Holy Ghost sucks a main dick. What are you gonna do about it? I'm fucking God.
Well, so here's the other thing. Like that just seems like it would hurt.
Yeah, the dove is taking he's taking a dive bomb. The dove is kamikazing into God's dick on this particular image.
Honey, his glory.
His glory.
Yeah, you have to remember in the Bible podcast we call it his glory.
Yeah, that's what it is. The glory is his dick and balls, by the way. Anytime you hear about God's glory, it's his dick and balls. But just, I don't know, this image right here is just the best. I have to say thank you, Saints Unscripted, for creating this lovely fucking image.
As exemplified in Jeremiah 18. This is the NIV version because I kind of like it. It says, if at any time I announce that a nation or kingdom is to be uprooted, torn down, and destroyed, and if that nation I warned repents of its evil, then I will relent and not inflict on it the disaster I had planned. And if at another time I announce that a nation or kingdom is to be built up and planted, and if it does evil in my sight and does not obey me, then I will reconsider the good I had intended to do for it. Doctrine is...
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
It's actually a compliment. Besides the Jesus figurines in the background, he has a very cool setup. Like behind him.
Yeah.
I think it looks really nice, except for the Jesus statues. I was just admiring that actually.
Well, I mean,
the bookends are really cool. It's a bike, and it's like I don't know. I like it.
I don't know. I kind of like how the Jesus in the background's T-posing like his character model is accidentally loaded into the picture.
See, now I also feel that if God were real, while he's recording this video, Jesus would go from T-figure to dab just to fuck with him. And then back, and like he never knew, and then he watched the video and saw it, and he's like, "Oh my God, it is real."
No. It would be in the raw footage, but basically, like he would be saying something, and he says something stupid or wrong, and then all of a sudden, like I don't know, like something hits his leg, or somebody throws a bike at his face or something, and then like when he gets back up, Jesus is in the dab position, and just on the raw video, he's like, "Holy fuck, what the? Oh god damn, Jesus just threw a bike at me."
Do you think he'd be scared and run away? Or do you think he'd be like, what is it they do in the Bible? They fall down on their face and like face down.
He would definitely go face down, ass up for that Jesus statue.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would see the Jesus statue being like, as if to measure the ass. I don't know. Anyways. He would just eye that ass for entry.
Covenants 105 suggests the Missouri Temple commandment wasn't completed in the early days of the church because of the disobedience of some of the members. Now, I wish I had time to go over...
Okay, so this sounds a lot like the original sin argument. You know, how we're responsible for original sin because Adam and Eve did something wrong, disobeyed God, and so therefore humans have to suffer and are guilty for all time. It kind of seems like that, like, oh, we didn't get this built because you guys were disobedient. And it's just a way of shifting the blame to somebody that didn't really hold the blame in the first place. The person that hold the blame would be Joseph Smith, that commanded them to build the temple when he knew fairly well that it couldn't be done. I mean, he had to have known that that was like a pie in the sky kind of thing to hope for. We got a new super chat. Phil Gregg, thanks for all the hard work pointing out the obvious and to the indoctrinated masses. Thank you so much, Phil.
More of Joseph Smith's super awesome prophecies and more of his controversial ones, but at the very least, hopefully you've learned a few things and acquired a few tools for analyzing prophecy, both from modern and ancient times. I'm going to throw a bunch of further information in the description, along with a link to an article about this on our website. Check that stuff out. And if you've still got questions, feel free to drop it in the comments or message us on social media. And have a great day.
I'm not gonna follow or subscribe or watch another. Well, I mean, I've got a whole bunch of your shit in my potentials list, so we're gonna be watching more of it, but just not on your channel. Anyways, thank you so much, Saints Unscripted, for giving us that bullshit. The best thing about this video is that image. Just that image of God not giving a fuck with his two craziest creations out there.
Cutthroat Juggalo said, face down, ass up. That's the way I like to pray.
You gotta say it right, honey. It's like face down, ass up. That's the way I like to pray.
No, you didn't. I said it right. It's from a song.
Oh, I didn't know it was from a song.
Face down, ass up. That's the way I like to fuck.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You should listen to more rap.
Hey, I listened to Tupac.
I don't know if it's face down. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I heard the song, but I think that's how it goes.
I don't know. Face down, ass. I mean, that sounded pretty. Face down, ass up. That's how I like to pray.
I think that's how the song goes. I don't know.
Cadence just showing some love and support. Y'all both can have a beer or coffee on me. Hey, $10. That's enough to buy a coffee. At least one of Michelle's coffees.
Yeah, but like, see, I get hazelnut Americano, so mine's only like $2.
God, everybody's correcting me in the chat.
What?
Like Charisma saying, face down, ass up. That's how I like to fuck.
That's the way. That's the way I like to fuck. I think that's the way I like to fuck.
The Gym Tanker says, I have a syllogism that shows that Jesus sinned. Wanted your take on it. Okay. There's going to be a question and answer section afterwards, so if you want to tag me then, after I get done with the Skeptic Mafia comments.
Did you get Scott Seufert's?
Greg.
And did you get Phil's?
I did Phil's.
Okay, did you do Scott?
Scott, GE, you obviously didn't smoke enough crack before tackling this video.
Yeah, I thought we missed one. Thank you, Cadence. John will have beer. I will have coffee.
Hey, but that $10, half of it would go to me, right? So that would buy 3 of these.
Oh, we have like a 50-50 deal.
I mean, we are married, so we have a legal document stating as such. Anyways, so that's it for that.
But see, I thought it was what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine.
No, honey, that's not how anything works.
What?
I mean, I don't know who told you that. Probably every woman.
No, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. What's yours is mine and what's mine is mine.
No.
Right? I think the chat should weigh in. Do a 1 if you think what's John's is mine and what's mine is mine.
I don't even know what.
Yes, Random Explorer agrees. Married just means it's all Casey's now.
So we have like 100-0 kind of arrangement here. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting fucked over.
Urban Imposter said 42.
Wait, hold on. Is this in perpetuity?
What?
Our deal.
Oh, yeah. Let's move on.
Sorry. Oh, man. It's been a long week.
It has. It has been a long week. Sleep has not happened much, and it's just been in the Make America Straight Again thing is this weekend. We've been working really hard to try to get the press release out. It's been a very crazy week. Which, if you don't follow us on Twitter and you want to know more about the Make America Straight Again and the NIFB work that and the new independent fundamentalist Baptist work that we're doing, follow us on Twitter at Godless Engineer, at @G_Caitlyn KAITLYN, and you'll be up to date. You'll be able to be kept up to date on all of that.
Yeah, did you say the NIFBcult.com?
Oh, that's our website, nifbcult.com. So you can check out. We've got a blog there where we're posting updates. John's building it. We keep populating it. There's gonna be a section on there about analyzing why it's a cult and a Telltale Atheist and Atheist Rationale, I believe, right, are working on the bite model analysis thing. So it's gonna be a good resource for people. I mean, it's terrible. It's fucking terrible. These people are terrible, but
yeah. And if you want to hear some of the rhetoric, if you can work your way through it, if you want to hear some of the rhetoric that's being spouted this weekend at the conference, we're trying to record as much of it as we can because it will be taken down. They've already been taken off of YouTube, and apparently they've moved to Facebook. So
I couldn't find it on Facebook, but the stream they were working off of is down.
Yeah, but I have one sermon and then one Q&A section, and then I think a second sermon. So it's yeah. Anyways, so
I'm so sorry. I totally do.
No, you're fine. So that's the end of the show, kind of officially. We're going to be doing Skeptic Mafia comments. If you don't know, if you join the Skeptic Mafia by hitting that join link, you can leave a comment on the video that we do tonight, and we cover it right at the very end as we go out. We're going to be covering those comments, and but hey, if you're going to be leaving, you're watching this on the replay or anything like that, I'm glad that you stopped by. I'm really happy that you watched this. Leave me your thoughts down in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you think about these prophecies, about Joseph Smith and everything like that. Let me know if you want to see more reviews of Mormon videos and Mormon claims and everything like that. I know I have a few more ex-Mormon fans, so I don't know if they appreciate my analysis here or not, but if you will, leave those comments down below. While you're here, though, smash that like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, hit that bell notification if you want to be notified, and don't forget to stand up, use your voice, all that kind of good shit, and we'll see you guys later. Unless you're here for the Skeptic Mafia comments, which I know that all of you are.
About 75% shilling. It's like 25% of actually something to say and an interesting comment to read, and then it's like, she is awesome, subscribe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But we do get to do a lot of emojis. Like, that's when I use my emojis the most, when you're doing that. I love the emojis.
Yeah, I do too. I like them a lot. All right, so first up we've got Gary White. Is like, I don't know, maybe. I don't know if Gary's here. Jane's here. I appreciate both of you guys. Y'all are awesome. Uhan Roderick can't get enough of that huge 15-inch GE dick. What can I say? Woo! Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God, when Kent Hovind said 15-foot whale penis, I thought I was going to die. I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard.
Oh,
and
man.
It was more at your reaction, and you're like, wait, his 15-foot what? And Ken was like, you're a child. Yes.
All right, so we got Chrismer. Since this is a Mormon video, I'm going to break with the pattern of meme ASCII. Instead, I'm going to go with something a bit more risque. Don't worry, I don't think it'll turn out bad, but just a note, this one took forever. Oh, it's a woman in a bikini. Sexy babe for the win. And since this is a huge one, no shilling tonight. Who am I kidding? Y'all should go ahead, smash that subscribe button. Go ahead, hit all those buttons down there. Like, unlike, join, whatever you want. Have at it, Haas. And if you really are feeling charitable, go ahead and go to joinskepticmafia.com to join the Skeptic Mafia. You get all kinds of perks, and GE will appreciate it. I will. I do appreciate you guys very much. Chrismer, and now I'm going to tell you what I really honestly think. Chrismer is an ex-Mormon, and we actually had an interview with him. So
it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Mm-hmm. It got demonetized for some reason. I don't know why, but it's a good one. Go watch it. Not right now though. Chrismer. And now I'm going to tell you what I really honestly think. Of course, Joseph Smith was a false prophet. He frauded people. He was fucking arrested for being a con man. He wrote different versions of the Book of Mormon that were completely disconnected from each other. There is so much I could say about him, but I don't have the time to go through it. Joseph Smith earns my fail well. I got to do it. Fail wells in the chat. Right? Hold on. Oh fuck. Hold on. I'm trying to do a fail well right now because I think that deserves a fail well.
Hey, on desktop, is it the same as it is on the app? How people get to the... Because Jim Tanker is asking how do you get to the Skeptic Mafia stuff to post the... I assume you mean the emojis. On mobile, it's right beside where you type your messages, the little smiley face you click on, and they're right there. But I don't know if that's where it is on desktop.
On desktop, it's right below like your little chat thing, and it's a smiley emoji face. And as soon as you pop it up, it says Godless Engineer, and it's got a whole row for you there of stuff. So, all right, Uhan Roderick, which yes, okay. Uhan Roderick, yes, he fits the definition of a false prophet, especially because he claimed Jesus and God returned and visited to America. That's a good point. And then Uhan quotes Matthew 24 through 27 and more of that chapter. Then if anyone says to you, look, here is the Christ, or there, do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and will perform great signs and wonders so as to mislead, if possible, even the chosen ones. Look, I have forewarned you. Therefore, if people say to you, look, he is in the wilderness, do not go out. Look, he is in the inner rooms. Do not believe it. For just as the lightning comes out of the east and shines over to the west, so the presence of the Son of Man will be. By the Bible's own definition, very much so. Well, I have to say, the reason why they think that Joseph Smith is special is basically because Luke Skywalker, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan Kenobi descended from the heavens and anointed him the chosen one. Those weren't their literal names. I think it was like John, James, and Peter, but you get what I'm saying. Arduin. I, all-knowing, omnipotent God who knows all that was and will be, reconsidered destroying you because I didn't know that you would change your behavior. Right. Makes sense to me. That's a good one, R1. That definitely doesn't make sense. Welcome to the Texas Sharpshooter, Moron or Mormon edition. Today we look at the vague predictions of a convicted con artist.
I'm so sorry. Jim Tanker didn't mean that's my bad. He didn't mean the emojis. He meant can he post that? The community tab.
Oh, yeah, the community. Well, actually, I've noticed on my channel, at least on desktop, there's a community channel that's just public community posts. And then there's so the member channel is the perks community channel. You're right. Sorry. You're getting mixed up here.
Yeah,
community
that's where
channel.
I always go to do is the community channel. Or, I'm sorry, the community tab.
Yes, community tab. Okay. Diesel Jester, I think that was perfect right there. Sean J. In answer to the title of the video, yes, Joseph Smith was a false prophet. For a prophecy to be fulfilled, it must be fulfilled in its entirety without Dunning-Krugering yourself into a severely twisted pretzel. Like every other false prophet, whether fictional, like Jeebus, or non-fictional, like that fraud J. Smith, you have to twist their words and continually reinterpret the meaning to make the words fit a given event. However, that's not how prophecy is supposed to work. The prophetic words are supposed to describe a specific event without the need to twist them after the fact. For example, someone saying, in the next 5 minutes, insert your username here, we'll like this video, subscribe to GE, and hit that bell icon. And hit that join button to join the Skeptic Mafia. That is a prophecy of Sean J. It will come true. You will hit that join button. You will become a Mafia member. Your check will be in the mail. Forever.
Sorry, Jane Pusecker asked, was Joseph Smith even a real person? Yes.
Yes. There's a lot of documentation to solidify him in history. He was a real person. In fact, do you know how he died?
Tell the story.
So basically, Joseph Smith was convincing all of these women that were married to his friends that he had sent out on missions to marry him as well so that he could fuck them. And so other Mormons didn't like that idea and were like, we're calling bullshit on God telling you to fuck our wives. And so there's this whole like Mormon war fought over this stuff. And so basically it comes down to Joseph Smith barricaded in this like building, and other Mormons storm the building and kill his ass because there's this whole war thing going on. And so he dies by Mormon hands. It's just really fucking weird. Anyways, would be a true prophecy only if it had actually specified your specific username and you joined the Skeptic Mafia, which of course you should get to with all the benefits, like these fucking goddamn emojis and everything that you get. I mean, we just did a farewell thing that was awesome for all of the members that, did it. You could do that too whenever we call for a special emoji stream right there. Oh, look, Cadence became a member. Thank you, Cadence, for becoming a member. Sean J., your prophecy has been fulfilled. I will go face down, ass up later. I can't do it right now. I'm sure you'll understand. God, Sean. Oh, man. Yeah. Also, another thing we do to celebrate people becoming a member of the channel. Oh, the emojis. All right. Michelle Foster. I'm going to be honest. I really didn't pay attention to all I heard was blah, blah, blah. I believe crazy shit. I'm going to try and make this dumb shit true. My apologies. Insert shilling here. Oh, fuck. Have you guys shared this thing out yet? Holy shit. You guys should share this motherfucker out right now. Love you guys. Oh, damn. I'm going to read Drew's entire thing because Drew was deep into the Mormon faith and he got out of it. And we've actually got an interview with him on the channel about it. So you guys should definitely check out Drew, his interview, which I'll try to remember to link in the description or somewhere. But it was like two I think maybe interviews, 2 episodes that ran. So but anyways, okay, a few things. 1, meteorites are not stars. And this claim that the meteor shower proved Joseph Smith's prophecy shows just how easily people can interpret events to match prophecy. I agree. Using a failed biblical prophecy that has had 2,000 years to come true to somehow demonstrate that generation means something entirely different is just another failed attempt to warp and change the meaning of words to suit your own purposes. 3, they are basically saying if it does not come true, it's not because it's false prophecy, it's that it is really a commandment or the people just didn't do as they were told. So it's not Joe Smith's fault, it's the people's fault. Good scapegoating there. Exactly, Drew. As for the Civil War prophecy, Joe Smith was not ignorant of the political climate of his day. According to Wikipedia, slavery was abolished in the northern states in 1805, the year Joe Smith was born. Jefferson administration also prohibited the importation of slaves while the southern states still relied on the slavery for their industry. Joe Smith had at one point even run for president, was mayor of Nuevo when he established the city, and it would not be unreasonable to think that he would be aware of the political tensions and potential civil war as a result of these tensions. That's not prophecy any more than it was prophecy that I predicted my representative was going to win the election a year before they did. I know this is a long one, but I'm sure you can appreciate my viewpoint as an ex-Mormon, and I understand if you didn't read it or only some of it. Drew, on this particular subject, you are way more knowledgeable about this area. I can only hope that I did it, like the video justice with my response to it, but I have to say you nailed it, man, in your comment here, and I wouldn't pass up input from you on any subject, let alone this one. Joseph Chappell. At some point in the near future, I really hope someone gives this hipster impersonator a dictionary so we can learn the difference between prophecy and a fucking ultimatum. I doubt he has a dictionary. Quentin Van Booben. Gonna start off with one straight from Chrismer. Are you kidding me? Oh man, that's a good one. Man, off to a good start with probably World War I. Now that if that ain't confirmation bias, I don't know what is. Not much else to say other than it seems like he constantly undermines himself. Now, you all know what time it is. It's time to shill. Make sure you consider hitting that join link to become part of the Skeptic Mafia. Y'all know what you get, right? Well, if not, I'm here to tell you. Emojis, a podcast on Tuesdays, a Discord channel, quote-unquote monthly hangouts that I haven't done in like 3 months, early access to the streams videos, the streams video that night, a poll to choose Friday's videos, which I actually did this week. Go for me. And a sweet little emoticon next to your name in chat. I think that's all. Now, make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And then we got Scott Seufert. A prophecy seems to have come true, then wording is literal. If prophecy seems to have failed, the wording is metaphorical such that the word cheese could represent the moon. That's a very apt observation there, Scott. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all of the Skeptic Mafia members, but not just them. I appreciate you guys watching at home. And that's why we do the question and answer portion at the very end of the show. If you guys want to ask me any questions or anything like that, you guys go right on ahead. Just tag me in it. I know that Jim the Tanker wanted to run something by me. I don't know. Jim, tag me and then ask what you were going to ask, and we'll do it. Quentin Van Boon says, right off the bat, when I heard probably, I was like, you're kidding, right? Cutthroat Juggalo did a super chat. This is for the haters, putting their haterade on my tab. Gotta love that haterade. God damn.
I have to tell you, though, it was so funny because this morning we woke up to a message about Pastor Boyle, who runs the Revival Baptist in Claremont, Florida, where they're having the Make America Straight Again conference. Anyway, his PayPal got taken down. His church's PayPal got taken down today, which was great, right? He posted, or he tweeted about it, and it was a picture of the fact that, of the your shit is fucked up. And then at the top, he said something about the hatters. He spelled haters with 2 T's, and it's not the first time I've seen him do it. And so like a lot of people in below were responding, tweeting to him about hatters. It was so funny. Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah.
No, that's fine.
It was funny.
So I did miss 2 because one was held back for review for some reason. Uhan Roderick said the JWs have to explain away the same generation scripture, and then he links that, and we'll get that here in a second. But then there's the Jim Tanker who posted on the thing, premise, the character of Jesus in the Bible cannot exist as portrayed by most Christians. Most Christians state empathetically that Jesus never committed any sin. I'd submit that he has committed at least one sin. Let's see, in Luke 14:26. If anyone comes to me and does not hate father, mother, wife, children, brothers, sisters, yes, even their own lives, such a person cannot be my disciple. Then in 1 John, anyone who hates his brother, sister, or murderer, and you know that no murderer has eternal life residing in him. And then in Exodus 20:12, the 6th commandment, honor your father and your mother so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. And then in 2013, the 7th commandment, you shall not murder. Conclusion, based on the words of the character of Jesus in the 6th and 7th commandments, Jesus has either sinned or is a hypocrite for not doing as he's taught. Being a hypocrite in and of itself is a sin because it violates the 9th commandment found in Exodus 20:16 of you shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. Yeah, Jim. So I'm glad that you highlighted that because that's like one of the many hypocrisies in the Bible, and it's deep dives like that into the actual theology of Christianity that I think really shows how cobbled together it is. Because it's pretty obvious that there were multiple people pushing multiple different theologies, and somebody just tried to cobble together all the theologies into one cohesive one. But the problem is that if you look close enough, you can see that it's really just sort of taped together with like Scotch tape, and you can tell.
Drew's book reviews asked, and now I can't find it. So, any chance of collaborating on a Mormon video? Would love the opportunity. I would love to see that video.
Oh, yes, Drew. I will get with you on Facebook about doing a collab on a Mormon video. I've got a long list of them, and trust me, I would love to work with you on one. Jane said, I don't care if Mormonism is late mainstream on Earth. I will never be a Mormon. Oh, I'm so glad. Ever drink any scotch? God damn, it's good. Just wondering. I don't think I've drank any scotch before. I'm mainly a whiskey kind of guy. I love my whiskey. Fletch says these hatters be killing me softly. Let's see. Jim the Tanker, Godless Engineer, please don't ever participate in giving Mr. Hoban a platform to spread his idiocy. So, yeah, I'll never give him. I'll say this, Jim. I'm never going to host a debate with Kent like on my channel, but I do have my debate that I did with Kent. I've got like it's set up to be exported and everything, which I'm going to do right after this live stream. But I do have that I'm going to post, but that's because it was a funny as hell debate. So he's never going to have a platform directly here to spread his idiocy. And I feel like it's not exactly giving him a platform when he's talking and then I, lay out why he's wrong. I feel like providing, that alternative explanation can help, and I also think that you guys might enjoy it. So I hope that you don't take that as me giving him a platform or anything like that. It really didn't work out for him. Prisoner 06452-017. Man, Jim the Ticket, there's no way I can make it through more. Maybe after GE's comments, I'll watch it drunk sometime. 9:59 longer than me, Scott says. For raising tired and exhausted from the week, but trying to keep in good spirits. Just wishing this head old would stop. It's been about 2 weeks now. 0. Oh man, I hate. I think that may be a head cold. A head cold. I hate head colds. Scott, I know, I watched it. I don't think that I'll be doing another debate with Ken, Kent, but we probably will be going to see his joke of an amusement park.
Yes, we'll go down there sometime. Oh, sorry, I'm like really far from the mic. We'll go down there sometime to Dinosaur Adventureland. It's only a few hours from here, right?
Yeah.
And we'll probably go with a couple friends. And Kent said he would actually give us a tour around him. He would give us a tour around. We should take him up on that.
Yeah.
We really should. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I could just see him now. Oh, hey, you're that pervert I talked to.
Pervert.
Pervert. Oh, man. Yeah, Jucane, well, the last time I saw it, it was pretty much dirt, but he calls it an amusement park or something like that. Scott Super, don't forget your medication. Ooh, yeah, you know what? I don't know. I don't think that I should really have whiskey on me at the time that I go, because it wouldn't turn out good. I would get drunk. I would start yelling slurs at freaking Kent Ham. I'd be like, "Hey Kent, you said a 15 what? Ah, say penis, Kent." You know, he says national pornographic on purpose. I'm guessing because National Geographic has featured like Native women that don't wear like tops or something, or have their breasts just sort of out there. I think that maybe that's why. He's really offended. He was really offended that I was drinking. Quentin Van Boeven says, "Love you." Aw, we love you too there, Quentin. Hey there, Utah Outcast. How you doing? G-Man. Okay. Gee, when are you going to the Ark? We're going to head that way in 2020, I think. Oh, we've already been to the Ark, but we do plan on going back. I've heard that there's supposed to be like a protest or something at the Ark.
Oh, and they're building. Sorry, I had kid maintenance. He's playing. What's that game you like to play with the guy with the arrows that jumps off buildings and shit?
Assassin's Creed?
Assassin's Creed, that one. He was playing Assassin's Creed, and he like gets out his bow and arrow and then stands in a fire, and it lights him on fire, lights his bow on fire. He gets on the horse, his horse is on fire, and he runs around and then shoots shit with his arrows, and then like the stuff takes fire damage. It's amazing. Sorry, so I got distracted. But they're building at the Ark Encounter at Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to see that.
Probably with the money they got from the insurance company for their lawsuit.
For the flood damage.
Yeah. Oh, man. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for the night, guys. I really appreciate everybody stopping by. I really appreciate all of you lovely heathens out there that continue to watch my stuff. You're very much appreciated. And, I've got the Kent Hovind debate that will be going up tomorrow. Although my computer, the last time I tried to render it, said it was going to take like 8 hours. So I'm going to let it render tonight, and then it'll be up at some point tomorrow. But tomorrow on the Non Sequitur Show, we are having Saturday Night Fight, where it's going to be me versus 33UC, which is going to be a difficult conversation, but we're going to be talking about it. So
tomorrow on where?
Non Sequitur.
Oh, okay. I thought you said tomorrow on Fight the Flat Earth.
No, I said Non Sequitur.
I really need some sleep.
You do.
I do. I'm so sorry. I told you miking was a bad idea.
But anyways, guys, if you haven't already liked the video, like everybody's saying in the chat right now, please go ahead, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And I guess we will see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up, use your voice, all that kind of good shit. Bye, heathens.
Bye, y'all. Love you 3000.